Hello, I'm Autism Dad Victor Antunez, includes my realtor, and this is the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today I'm with Barbie Rivera, founder and principal of H.E.L.P. Miami, a K-12 micro school in Kendall. You are also the author of Enough is Enough.
Yes.
And H.E.L.P. stands for Hollywood Education and Literacy Project, because you came from California, or you saw there was a school in California?
There was a literacy program in California that I went and I toured, and I said, they did it free. And I'm like, I can't do free, but I liked their approach. I go, I can turn this into a private school. And I don't think they thought anything of me, single mom from Miami, blah, blah, blah. And that's what I did.
Cool. So your story starts in 1991.
Correct.
With your son,
yes,
Damon.
Mm-hmm.
And 10 years into the school year, a public school teacher.
10 days.
I'm sorry, you're right. And it says that here.
Yeah, it's okay.
10 years. Wait a minute. That's a long journey.
No, it's a long time to find out he couldn't read.
Yeah, right. 10 days into the school year, one of the teachers tells you that your son is mentally handicapped.
Yes.
Just 10 days.
That's the second Friday.
The second Friday. Yeah, so tell me about that.
Well, first of all, it's a lie. And I'm not a parent that you can't tell me, hey, your son said the bad word. I will 100% believe you, and I will deal with my son separately, right? But Damon was super well-mannered. He's the oldest of four, loved his siblings, very cooperative, very interested, very creative, colored, played, normal boy. Knew he was the first Cuban grandson in the Cuban side of the family. So spoke.
What did it have to do with it?
I'm just saying, he spoke Spanish.
Okay, so he's bilingual.
He's bilingual. So he learned all of these things.
Okay.
But yet the second Friday, they're telling me that boy is mentally handicapped. I'm like, if he's mentally handicapped, there's no one walking around that's not.
So, but you just went through a whole about how well behaved he was.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a conduct issue in school.
No, not at all.
Okay.
It was he confused the B and the D, which I go back to, I'm old school. I did kindergarten and first grade, 1969, 1970. We had time. We didn't have homework. We weren't tested. We weren't prodded. But we would make the D and the B, they look alike. We would make them in Play-Doh, like every week. Then the P and the G. And it was a whole year to learn the alphabet. You weren't expected to learn it in 3 days. And in addition to, he didn't know the difference between the B and the D, or he confused them. Now we're going to say he's mentally handicapped.
So if the teacher is saying that he's mentally handicapped, was he the only one, or were they all mentally handicapped?
Oh, I never asked that question.
Yeah, that would have been a good question to ask.
That would have been I did ask.
Put things in perspective, you know?
I asked her because she wanted him on what's called C. It's under the classification of CNS, Central Nervous System medication for ADHD. And I'm like, so that's your Ritalin, your Focalin, your Intunib. I don't know what was out at the time, but that's what she had suggested, that he's mentally handicapped and he'll most likely need medication.
The teacher said this?
Yeah.
But who was the teacher to that's a medical diagnosis. Your child needs this, that, or that drug.
Yes. And
so what qualified her to be telling you that?
Well, that was one of my questions.
Yeah. Okay. What was her answer? Yeah.
She said, well, we work with psychologists, psychiatrists, and they have checklists, which kids get all the time. And the checklists have the logo of the pharmaceutical company sponsoring the checklist. So I'm like, okay, this is all unfair. It's horrifying. And I have other horror stories. Anyway, so I'm not going to put it, I'm not going to drug my son. I'm like, there's nothing to drug here. You want 100 of this boy. I read to him every night. He's raised. He's not growing up in a household. He's being raised. He knows what's right. He knows what's wrong. He has chores. He's 6. So it's not like he's making money or has a financial quota. He believes in the Easter Bunny. And like all of the things that parents like to create for their children, that magic. He's in it, and he's loved, and there's a bedtime. He doesn't swear. Anyway, he's not a problem.
So is this in Miami?
Yeah, it was in Coconut Grove.
And it was in a public school?
In a public school.
Right.
There were 32 kids in her room. So I asked the teacher this. Okay, so have you had other students on this medication? Oh, yes. Who has it cured? Boom. Nobody.
But, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of drugs. Just my kids aren't on drugs. But is the purpose of these drugs to cure you or just to make your day better so you can function?
Well, I think,
You're not going to cure anyone.
no, you're not going to cure anybody. And this is my opinion, which might not be popular. I think it's how we can get 30, 40 kids in a classroom.
I was going to say that.
Because then you have 30, 40 kids. I have 4 children, all vastly different. I'm busy. When Damon was 6, my daughter was 3.
Hello.
I had a 1-year-old boy who was learning to walk, and I had a newborn. I'm busy. There's I don't feel that there's any college certificate that can have me manage 20 kids, get them all learning at the same time.
And not even 20, it's 30 kids.
Well,
there's a big difference.
40 now, and I have a teacher.
Really? I thought it was like 33 or something.
I had a woman that came to me from a charter school. She was a teacher there. She goes, you know how many kids I have in my school, in my classroom? 63 12-year-olds.
By herself?
By herself.
Look, I'm just going to say, I don't believe that. 63.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't.
But I have other parents. It's like, yeah, she's one of 45.
Hello.
I'm like, okay, what are we doing?
Hello.
What are we doing? Like my kindergarten, I think we had 20 kids in my kindergarten, 1969. There was a teacher, and every day there were 2 parents in that room, 2 moms, to help the teacher. Just on the getting your milk with the straw. You know what? That can be a challenge.
That's a skill.
That's a skill.
Yeah.
So some kids could do it and could help another, but there's always a mess. It's children. And I say this, again, I come from old school. My parents had 5. They didn't get matching furniture till all 5 of us were out of the house because they knew kids are noisy, they're messy. That's how it's supposed to be.
It is.
That is how it is. And now we're trying to get these kids to sit in a chair and they have to know their alphabet. My son was given book reports before he could read. I'm like, what is? And to me, it was just another way to channel him into some false diagnosis that he can't learn because they're giving him things that he can't do. I'm like, well, why aren't we teaching him driver's ed? Because he also can't read.
Well,
he can't drive.
That was 91. I don't want to go too much into conspiracy. What do you think why would they be doing that?
I think it's money.
Motivation. Money from who?
I think it, honestly, to me, the system has surrendered to the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, in the food industry, because you see the stuff that they serve in the schools. You walk into a cafeteria, you smell it. You're like, this is not healthy.
It's plastic.
Just by the smell of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I'm not the conspiracy, whatever, but I feel at some point we had the word phase. Oh, it's a phase he's going through. That's no longer a thing. It's a diagnosis now. Oh, he's noisy. They are. Well, now he's hyperactive. It's a diagnosis. So we've taken normal childhood behavior and we've turned it into a clinical diagnosis for which there is a drug for. And the drug doesn't solve it. And we're losing our children. It's heartbreaking.
Another thing that they're doing in the schools is, which is not connected to this, but what I see going wrong, having police in the schools, and now 2 boys get in a fight, they get arrested for assault.
Yes.
It's I would have been in prison when I was a kid. It had been that way when I was a kid. It's we're just doing things for our kids that just aren't normal.
I agree.
Or not normal for them.
It's not normal. It's period. It's not normal.
Yeah. Now, I don't want to I do want to hit the drugs a little bit because because I've talked about this with people. They're like, do you drug your kids? I don't drug my kids. My kids don't need it. But at the same time, I have seen profoundly autistic kids who bang their heads. And if drugs can get that kid to stop banging his head, the helmet comes off and they can live, then, I'm not against it for some kids.
Well, I 100%.
But for conduct, because you're saying about, okay, you got 30, 40 kids and you can't control that. What do you do? Drug them.
Right.
Just drug them. So I think that there's a lot of laziness going on. Let's just drug them because then I can handle, if kids are all drugged, I can handle 40 kids.
Yeah.
If they're not drugged, I can't handle it.
Right.
Yes, I think that's going on.
I absolutely think that's going on.
So you, as a result of this, you started to homeschool your kids.
I homeschooled. Yeah. I wish I could say I took my son out immediately. I didn't. I was pregnant.
But you're a mom.
Yeah.
You do what you can.
You do what you can.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of first grade, I took him out. And I'm like, my other three will never go through what my son went through. I gave them, in my opinion, a very good citizen, a very well-behaved, capable little boy. If you were in the family, you could take him with your wife and your family to the Keys. Hey, we're going to go fishing. He won't give you any. You're like, oh my God, he was great. You know,
talk about being a citizen. I was at some event just recently, and they sang, not saying, but we said the Pledge of Allegiance. And I was looking at some of the young people, either they weren't participating or they didn't know it.
They probably didn't know.
They probably didn't know it.
Yeah.
Because when I was a kid, we knew the Pledge of Allegiance.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
And we love this country and all that.
Yes.
But yeah, like I was looking at these kids, like, I don't think they even, either, or they're just not participating because they've been taught to hate America or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Another thing.
That's another thing. But again, to go, I think even earlier before you hate America is you start hating your family.
Hello, I'm
saying, like,
of course.
If I would have, let's say, 12 years old.
Hello, I'm
my teacher, F you. I would have had my mom and dad.
Oh my God.
My 13 aunts and uncles.
Oh my goodness.
My grandmother.
Yes.
It was unacceptable.
No, but unimaginable. Not even unimaginable. Your brain would explode.
To even think
we did what?
To even think that
yes.
If I wouldn't have done my homework, I have to write an essay on King Henry VIII. I don't care. Nobody cares.
Nobody asks you.
Nobody asks me if I care. You need to do the best on that essay. If I got a B, I might have privileges taken away because there was this standard. And after dinner, we washed the dishes. You weren't asked, do you like dinner? Like, if it's your birthday, you got to have what you wanted. You had control of the meal. Anyway, but to me, that's what's disappeared. And my children, Damon's now almost 42, high IQ, businessman, brilliant mind, still bilingual, doesn't engage in drugs and alcohol, all the good things. I raised a good citizen. I raised all four of mine.
So you start homeschooling.
Yeah.
And then the homeschooling turns into a microschool.
That's right. Well, the word microschool didn't exist at that time because it was just homeschooling. But my first year homeschooling, I had 11 kids in my house.
That's a lot of kids.
That's a lot of kids.
Were you licensed? Like, it was different?
You didn't have to do.
Yeah, okay, it was different.
It was different. Plus, it was very lax.
It's a different world.
It was a different world.
Yeah.
So, and I had 3 second graders. My son, I put him in second grade because I wasn't going to say you have to repeat first grade because I would have killed him. At the end of first grade, by the way, what the school system gave me was a boy who said, his words, not mine, "Mom, I'm stupid."
Oh, you know what? I made a note about that. So that was the actual word.
His actual words. Yes. I would never say.
He just volunteered it.
Yeah, but his whole demeanor changed. Like, this is a boy that would have the bow and arrows with the suction cups, and we would put something on the wall and he would try to get it to stick or to the refrigerator. And he stopped putting the blanket over the dining room table and putting sleeping bags under. I'm going to camp out tonight. I'm like, hope the bears don't get you. And he sleeps there. To me, that's the fun part of childhood. And maybe his toddler little brother climbs in there with whatever. He stopped doing, like he withdrew.
Why do you think that is?
Because I think he was shut down. I think that if I had a job where 8 hours a day, I'm just told I'm a failure with F's the size of my hands, like he couldn't read the instructions. But yet, and I didn't save this paper, but I should have because I saved a lot. It was circle the words that start with the SN sound. Now, mind you, this is before the alphabet sounds. He circled everything that was cold because there was a big snowman on it. And he got an F.
And in kindergarten.
First grade.
First.
But I'm like, ask him.
Hello.
Because if you ask him what he was doing with instructions, that he couldn't read in a packet that was handed to him and told, get that done in a half an hour. That's what teaching is. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like my first grade teacher, she was probably in her 60s. We had a piano in the room and everything was a discussion. We got a chance to shine. Like even if we were learning cat, rat, and bat, who can draw on the board what a cat looks like? And somebody would draw. You can imagine what it looked like. That's a wonderful cat. How long is, I don't see a tail. Oh, and then we learned CAT. And that's how the day went. It was very interactive. The teacher was not at her desk sitting, and we weren't working on packet. There was a plan of the day. And I'm like, and I'm a young mom. So I'm like, what happened to this? So that's what I went to create in my homeschool/micro school, that it's alive and it's active and there's participation. Because to me, that's what education is. It's communication.
And how big is your school?
My school right now, I think I have like 38 kids. I can probably...
K through 12?
K through 12. Yeah.
Because that's a big spread.
Yes.
Amongst a very small body of students. So you've got little kids with big kids.
Yeah. Well, yeah. And you've been there. So it's a storefront. So I have the older kids. I have it sectioned. And the sections are like partitioned with bookshelves. So the little guys are with the little guys, the middle school's with the middle school, the high schoolers are with the high school. And I really want a building. Another reason why I wrote the book is hopefully I get somebody who's interested in, one, helping me with the curriculum part, and two, getting me a property in horse country to where I have a little more separation. Because my ideal of what I want is like a garden, like for the little guys, a playground, a garden. And for the older guys, I want to bring home ec back. I want washers and dryers.
Let me ask you a question about that, because right now you're at a storefront.
Yes.
And your tuition is $10,000 a year.
Yeah.
Which is fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
And the step-up scholarship will cover that.
Yes.
If you were to transition to horse country, you'd have to raise the...
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, it's expensive.
Well, we would, but I'll probably kick myself for saying this now. The people that I have now, I would keep at their price point. People coming in, they're going to have to pay more. But I feel like we deliver a really good service. I'm the middle school teacher, and my 7th and 8th graders, their top favorite subject is reading. And how many 7th and 8th graders do you have that's their favorite subject?
It's funny you mention that, because I remember when I was a little kid, I was still in grade school. I remember because it was a particular school, and the teacher would always talk about how fun it was to read. But we were always reading textbooks. I was like, this isn't fun.
Right.
And then one day, I don't know how, I came across Call the Wild. When you're 12, that's like the coolest book ever, because I was a dog boy, and the dog gets kidnapped, taken to the Klondike or wherever it was, the Yukon. And after I read that book, cover to cover, like probably the same day, I was like, now I understand how reading can be fun.
Yeah.
But the teachers did a really poor job of teaching us that reading is fun, because if it's all textbooks, nobody enjoys reading textbooks. I mean, at a certain age you do, but when you're little, you don't.
Well, right. But then it's unfair to the teachers. Again, my first grade teacher and my second grade teacher was amazing. They were given, this is what you have to teach. Over to you to bring it to them. Over to you to create it. And we had a spelling textbook and we had reading textbooks. But the format of it was very creative. And to me, that's when you get education where it's like an art.
Wait, okay. I'm a little bit confused here, because you're saying that it's put on the teacher, the responsibility.
Well, back in my day, it was. Now the teachers have no say-so. They have no way to run their own class.
But here's the thing. Like, if it's public school, I can see how that goes off the rails really quick. But in your micro school, I'm sure you forgot, this is how we do things here, because this is what works.
Absolutely. Yeah, because as soon as you go into any type of group, like really the perfect education system, perfect would be homeschooling.
Because, I don't know if I agree with that.
Well, in this sense that you're moving at the pace of the child, you're delivering the interest of the child. Me, I can't do that. And I think my kids would have gone crazy. Like, they wouldn't have liked that very much. And again, out of my...
You just said it was the perfect way, though.
Well, it is, if you do it the right way.
Which is, a big,
That's a big if.
Yeah.
Micro-schooling, like this year for my 7th and 8th grade, it wasn't my favorite social studies or history book, but we started with Mesopotamia. And the book is very fact, a little bit dry. But then I'm like, okay, guys, we're bringing in toilet paper tubes. You're all going to make your city-state, because those were the first civilizations. And I don't know if you've ever played Risk, where it's world domination. So I kind of altered the rules of Risk. And so all these kids had their city-states, and they got to draw who were their protectors, which, of course, in the book, it was warriors and this. But the girls did magical unicorns, and they had dragons, and they were allowed to create that way. And then we used dice, and they battled it out. And we had the person who conquered Mesopotamia was a 6th grade boy named Evan. And he was like, but that brought what was on the page to some semblance of activity. Now that's my gift, because that's what I did. On reading, we got through most of the Harry Potter. And on the first book, they made wands out of little dowels I go to Ace Hardware, which is in the same shopping center. I'm like, I need these. Can you cut them in half? Absolutely. Like, they do a lot of crafts for me.
That's a great Ace Hardware, by the way.
It really,
they're really good people there.
Yeah. Well, I've been in that location for 23 years, so I know them. Anyway, so the kids made wands, and then they had to, like, what would happen if you did this? What would happen here? So you make it, that's where you bring it into something fun. And I'll tell you, and then I make all of them take turns reading. And there's some that are very fluent. And the standard is you should read. One, you need to know the definitions of words. You have to be able to define the words. Otherwise, you're not understanding what you're reading. 2, when you read, it should sound like you're speaking. So if you read the cat in the hat, we need to practice more.
But I mean, like, when I read, I don't read out loud.
No, but there's no way for me to tell if they can read unless they read out loud. So the reading class is out loud. I'll take a paragraph, then I give you a paragraph, then I take a paragraph, then I give the next student a paragraph, and I read a lot just to keep the flow going. And then I'm like, raise your hand if there's a word you don't understand. And they raise their hand.
Here's a question about reading out loud. I remember back in school that I could always read out loud. There were some kids that couldn't do it. Was that like a self-esteem issue, or is that like a learning issue? What do you think that is?
I think that's more self-esteem or confidence.
Yeah.
And again, if they feel safe, they'll get over it. They'll come into it, because I had like 2 or 3 kids enroll mid-year, where the ones that I have, they know that if they mispronounce a word, like this boy, the word was determined, and he read it determined. And I'm like, okay, it's determined. And there's a few giggles, but then he keeps going. It's not an issue.
Hey, stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, if you knew it all, you wouldn't even need to be here.
Yeah. Myself, like, not so much anymore, but I used to read with a dictionary.
Yes.
Now I've learned enough words where I can pretty much read any book without a dictionary. But yeah, I used to read with a dictionary. And I would write words down so I wouldn't slow myself down. And then when the chapter was done, I would go back to the dictionary and look up the words.
Right. Well, we define them as we go. In fact, I have a kid, because I cram them all into my office. And one gets me the dictionary, which I have 6 different versions of dictionaries, old ones, newer ones. And then they give me the book. It's all right there. And so we look up the words as we go. And Harry Potter's a challenge. Just because it's about a child doesn't mean it's a child's book. That's high school level reading. So, but these kids, we would get to the end of a chapter. They're like, Miss, please let us read another one.
Yeah.
And I would sometimes I couldn't, because we had to go on to something else. But it was that excitement of, what is that character going to do next? And then you could take a sentence from the book that was, a description of the castle door, the mysterious castle door. I'm like, okay, so look at how the writer wrote. How could you describe your dog instead of just saying, I have a dog, which is like a 1st grade sentence? let's get into description. Let's get into this. Let's get into that. And they started, anyway, you see their ideas developing. It's not going to happen in 1 week.
Hello,
It's going to happen in 2. But with a good teacher, and I consider myself a good teacher, then you bring it out of them and they can maintain their own creativity on it. That's where it gets good.
Let's talk about good teachers.
Yeah.
How do you know a good teacher when you see one?
Well, 1, do they love their job? 2, do the kids love being taught by them?
But that's after the fact.
That's after the fact. Also, how do they teach? Is it a packet? I'm going to give you a packet and that's it. Or do they say, like, I had 3 or 4 kids. I only had 4 or 5 kids in my pre-algebra class. And math is tough. These kids come in from public school or even private and charter school. They're in middle school. They have like a 2nd grade skill set across the board because I've been gifting calculators. And
you don't use calculator?
No. If you're in algebra 2, you can use science.
Yeah, at some point you have to.
Yeah, when you're in there, but algebra 1 and below, absolutely not.
Algebra, yeah.
Absolutely not. You need to know your multiplication and division tables as well as you know your name. That's the standard. And I ask 1 for 1 at the beginning of each class, actually. Like we have our Algebra 1 books, and they're from 1980. And they're world different to way it's structured now.
How so? Just give me an example. Because nowadays it's Common Core, which I saw on your website, you're not a fan of.
Oh, not at all.
But how is that? Like, give me like one solid example of how the books have changed.
Okay, so wait, let me see if I can find it. Because I have a math problem in here. If I can't find it quickly.
Okay,
so I'm right there. Here we go. So I'm just going to show you, and I know you're not going to be able to see it, but this is page 143. So this is old school phonics. P, pi, like this. And this is what I did. And we did hundreds and hundreds of things.
Yeah, of course.
This is modern. K is for, the first word is kill. The second word
is knee.
Is knee. The K is silent.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Be a break. And kookaruba. What first grader knows what that is?
But is that for real? I mean,
yes,
like,
this is modern.
Can I tell you something? Like, a lot of times when I have like a knee-jerk reaction to something, I'm like, it can't be real because people are always getting manipulated by people who have like an axe to grind.
Yes.
So when I see things that are so goofy like that, I'm like, it's an axe to grind.
No, but it's what's happening. This is from Go Math Florida, which is the standard textbook used in all of Florida's public schools. This is 2nd grade. And the problem is 26 plus 17. This is how you do it. And this is quoted from the book. Use a number that adds with 6 and 26 to make a 10. Wait, let me back up. Add 26 plus 17 by breaking apart numbers to make a 10. Use a number that adds with 6 and 26 to make a 10. Since 6 plus 4 equals 10, use 4. Think 17 equals 4 plus 13. Add 26 plus 4 equals 30. Add 30 plus 13 equals 43. So 26 plus 17 equals 43. That's nonsense.
It's, I do it in my head. If I were to write it out, it might.
Yeah, but you're also not 7 years old.
No, I'm saying like I have my way of doing my math in my head. If I were to write out the steps, it might be a whole page also,
Yeah, but it shouldn't be because you add the ones and then you add the tens and you carry over, and that's how it is. To me. It's like, why are we taking this? Like, there are some books that give the dog water and turn it into a thesis. Like, you put the dish, put the water, give it to the dog. Like, we need to go back to simplicity.
Yeah.
Which again,
at least at a certain age. Kindergarten in 1st grade, 2nd grade. Yeah, skip it.
Yeah, they have to get the basics. But even in high school, like pre-algebra is easy. But every day I ask them, whatever the title is, first of all, I'm like, what does pre mean? Oh, before. Good. Give me an example. Oh, like when you preheat something. Yeah. You need to get that oven hot all the way around before you put the cookies in. And they're like, okay, so pre-algebra means before we're getting to algebra. Perfect. What is algebra? No idea. So then you go over the definition of algebra. It's a form of math where numbers are represented or amounts are represented by letters,
By symbols.
symbols, and letters. So then you teach them the,
Letters are symbols, fine.
but because there's also the symbols anyway. And so you go that way by definitions of words. So when it's like converting fractions to percent, I ask them, what's the definition of a fraction? The answer, no one has ever asked them that before.
I see kids, they'll go and ask them, like, what ocean are you on? And you're like, and they don't know.
Yes.
And it's pretty frightening. So, but I'm not an educator. So like, I don't see what you see every single day. But what I do see online sometimes, it's like, it's fright.
It's terrifying.
We're fright. Listen, we got the 2-minute warning.
Okay.
2 minutes ago.
All right.
So I got a last few questions I want to ask you before we wrap it up. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So let me go back to the last page here. Okay. So the first question is, at 6, Damon thought he was stupid. Where is Damon now?
I think Damon's IQ was last tested. It's like 161. And he is a businessman, and he goes into companies and he helps structure the company.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. Okay. 20 years from now, what do you want a parent to be able to do that they can't do today when a public school tells them something is wrong with their child?
I want them to have the ability to say no. And really what I want to do is take these old books and modernize them into, like, I want to create, like, if your grandchild needs kindergarten, I want to be able to provide them kindergarten so you don't have to figure it out.
So obviously, I know I am, and obviously you are too, is that you are a big school choice advocate.
Yes.
It has to be. Because if you have a monopoly, just monopolies are bad.
Yes.
For everything.
Yep.
Including schooling.
Yep. Agreed.
Yeah, I'm a huge, freedom of choice when it comes to your kid's school.
Yep.
Last question, Barbie. For a parent who wants the book or wants more about HELP, where do they find you?
They can find the book on Amazon.
Enough is enough.
Or they can go to barbierivera.com, and you can contact me through there, and you can also order the book through there.
And the school, you're in Kendall? Is there a website?
Yes,
website?
helpmiami.org.
Cool. Okay. Yeah, it was a nice website. I went there, and I've been to your school, obviously.
Yeah.
And you're very nice location.
Thank you.
Yeah, although horse country would be a lot better.
Yes. Well, there's a property there, but...
Oh, there's there.
There is.
Good for you.
But that's
not as cheap.
$1,000,000.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's more than a Friday bake sale is going to require.
The lemon stand's not going to fund that one.
Stand is not going to do it.
Okay. All right, well, Barbie, this has been a great conversation. I super enjoy you as a human being. I love your story, and I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's turn to the camera. We'll sign off. So this has been the Autism Podcast with Barbie Rivera of H.E.L.P. Miami. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Thank you.